All right, guys, we're going to go over Adobe Premiere Pro editing. Now, this is for video purposes or audio purposes. The same principles apply. The procedure is exactly the same. It's just whether you're using video or not. Okay, let's just jump right straight to it. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is I want to make sure that every person should have an external hard drive. Okay, an external hard drive to put your work for numerous reasons. Number one, if you're using a lab and you want to edit your piece on the desktop that's there, just know that if you don't finish it, it's going to be gone once you log out, okay? But also, I want you to make sure that you have all of your works in progress saved on your external hard drive. Here's what we're going to do. On your external hard drive, I want you to right click. If you do not have the ability to right click, if you're on a Mac, and currently today I'm editing on a PC, but the same principles apply, just with a few variations, okay? I want you to right click. If you cannot right click on your Mac, you'll need to go up to the top where the Apple is, click on System Preferences, choose the mouse, and then switch the right side of the mouse to secondary. Okay, so the left side will say primary, the right side will say secondary, and then click off of that. Now, when you're on your desktop, or better yet, on your external hard drive, I want you to right click. I want you to put new folder. That new folder is going to be called Adobe Premiere Projects. And I want you to create a second folder called Adobe Premiere Exports. The reason why we have two folders, Projects and Exports, is because I want this media to be separate from each other. The Projects folder is literally that. It's what you're going to be editing your projects in. These are works in progress. Once they're finished, chances are you might delete them. But your exports, I want you to consider that your archive, your videos that are finished, that are completed and exported from Premiere Pro. Okay? So put your projects in here and your exports in here. Now, once you have those created, I want you to put your SD card inside the computer. Or if you're editing from a device such as, say, a Tascam or some type of audio recorder, you will need to plug in your USB cable, and you'll need to locate the media files that were recorded, okay? In this case, we're going to be using an SD card, okay? So once you pop in your SD card, I don't want you double-clicking. I want you double-clicking on the SD card to launch it, but once it pulls up the window, I don't want you double-clicking on the media. It shows up as one file, especially if you shot it with the Sony 100s, okay? It'll pop up as one file. On a Mac, I want you to right-click on that. When you right-click on it, I want you to press Show Package Contents. When you do, it's going to pull up a BDMV. I want you to right-click on that and press, again, Show Package Contents. Once you do that, you'll see a couple of folders. I want you to double-click on the Stream folder, and inside that Stream folder, you'll see all of your clips. They're labeled as .mts. Those are all of your clips that you shot, okay? I want you to select all of them and bring them into your Premiere Pro projects. And here's how we're going to do it. I double-click on Premiere Pro Projects. I have that folder right here. In my Premiere Pro Projects, I'm going to right-click and do another folder called My Project. And for this one, I'm going to be calling it Gendering Holodeck, and there's a reason for that. It's because I shot a video called Gendering the Holodeck. It was a research video about this project that was going on. So we're going to be, and I have the media for that, so I'm going to go ahead and use that media. So I'm going to double click on that, and now it's in there. So Premiere Pro Projects, Gendering Holodeck. Now, I'm going to grab my media. Okay, and that media is right here. I had this minimized right now. Okay, so I'm going to single click on this and I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to go shift all the way to there. That's the tracks that's the video clips that I want to bring in. Click it, hold it, and drag it into that folder, that gendering holodeck folder. Okay, it takes a little while to populate, so I'll let this build. Okay, as you can see, it takes a little while to copy that over. Okay, so I sped that up a little bit. So as soon as it is completely copied over, all your clips are there now. I need one more thing, and that's called my track, and I'll show you what that is later. I'm going to take that and bring that over as well. Wait for it to copy over. Okay, and then I have my script here as well. Now, in this case, we wrote it in Microsoft Word. Not a big deal. Typically, you're going to be using, if you're in broadcast class, you're going to use the professional producing software to write your script. But in this case, we just did it in Microsoft Word. Okay, all of my clips are now copied over to my drive, or in this case, on my hard drive, on my desktop. If you look at your projects, double click on it. There's that subfolder called gendering. If you double click in that, here's all the files, including my track. It's all there. Now you're ready to edit. Launch Premiere Pro. And for time's sake, I had it minimized, ready to pull up. Okay, here's what we're going to do. The first thing you're going to see is this screen right here. I want you to click on New Project. Okay, and I want you to title it. And I want you to locate it, place it. Where are we going to put it? We're going to put it right back in that same exact place on the desktop in the Premiere Pro projects, or the Premiere projects. Open that one. In Gendering Holodeck, double click on that, and there you go. Select that folder. That's where we're going to have it. Now, keep the rest of this stuff the same by default, but make sure this one says HDV. Sometimes that'll switch to DV. And then press OK. Okay, once it opens up, you'll see 4 quadrants. Now don't worry about the system issues found. That just means that my video card is outdated and needs updating. But look at the 4 quadrants. You have source, program, project, and timeline. In yours, when you open yours, you'll see a number of other tabs open. The ones that you really need to worry about is source and effects and project and effects. If you want to close any one of those, all you got to do is click on the hamburger next to it and press close the panel. So I just make sure that I have source and effects, project and effects, okay? In each one of these quadrants, okay? Okay. Now, you are ready to start a project, okay? I want to show you a little bit about these quadrants though. You can actually move your cursor here and move these around by clicking and holding them down, or you can do it right here, move it around, okay? Or you can move it this direction. Now look at these tools in here. If I were to move this one this way, look at what happens right here. It kind of messes this up. But if I take this and move it that way, boop, it pops up against that. So if I want to move those, it's better to move these independently. See that? Okay, this tells you what you need to do. You need to import some media. You need to drop some media here to create the sequence, right? So here's what we're going to do. To start off the project, I want you to right-click in here. Again, if you don't have the right-click activated on your Mac, go up to Apple System Preferences, click on the mouse, and activate your right-click by clicking on the mouse and making it a secondary mouse on the right side. Okay, so I want you to right-click, or you can go up to File, New, Sequence, because we're going to create a sequence. Now, by default, it's gonna pop up the last project that you edited. I want you to choose AVC HD. AVC HD is an MPEG-4 video. I want you to choose 1080 interlaced. Now, if you are shooting with the Sony 100s, the broadcast cameras, they shoot interlaced. If you're shooting with the Canon 80Ds, which are the DSLR cameras, they shoot progressive, okay? I'm teaching for interlace right now for the Sony 100s. I want you to choose this one down here, which is 30 frames a second. See where it says 1080i, 30 frames. Okay? If you shot video with the DSLR, you're going to choose 24 frames a second progressive. Got that? And then press OK. Now you don't have to name your sequence just yet. You can do that later. And notice it puts the sequence there. If you hover over there, look, it even says sequence. And it's named sequence 01. It's also named sequence 01 here because it popped it in here. Okay? It popped all these different layers of video, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of audio. Okay? Now, I want you to right-click in here again because we need to import our media. So right-click, import, or you can go File, Import, and then choose from the desktop in the Premiere Pro projects, in Gendering Holodeck, there's all the media clips. From there, all the way down to here, Shift there. Now mind you, see how it, by default, it also selected the Premiere Pro project? Well, we don't want to do that because that's like bringing your house inside your house. That is my project, and this is my project. I can't bring a project into a project. So deselect that one by pressing Control and deselect, and then press Open. Now it's literally importing the files, okay? All right. All right, now all those files are loaded, okay? And you'll notice sometimes by default they do not put them in sequential order. You can mess with these views right here and actually do it by order, in list order, okay? So that they show up 00, 02, 03, 04, okay? All right, now let's look at these. Over here, I said I had 3 layers of video and 6 layers of audio. But if you notice down here, on number 4, 5, and 6, it says 5.1 next to it. That means that's not standard audio. That's actual surround sound 5.1 audio. We want to delete those because if I were to try to drop audio, regular standard recorded audio on one of those channels, it would refuse it. So I'm going to right click right here and I'm going to press delete that track. And I'm going to do it again. Delete that track, and I'm going to do it again. Delete that track. Now I have 3 layers of video, and down below this line I have 3 layers of audio. I can always increase the amount of audio and video layers that I want. If I right click again, anywhere on the video or the audio, just somewhere here in the gray, not on one of these, but somewhere in the gray, I can press add a track of audio or video. Boop. It pops another one up. Okay. Video 4. Let's say I want to add a track of video or audio. I right click here. And if I want to do one, I can do add a track right here. But I can also choose this and add numerous tracks. I can put 2 more layers of video after track 4. And I can click on this and do, let's say 3 more layers of audio after layer 3 and press OK. Look at that. It layered with 6 layers of video and 6 layers of audio. You see that? Okay. Now, at this point, I want everybody to press File, Save. You just saved your project. Okay? It auto saves also in the background periodically, but I want you to get in the habit of doing it yourself. Okay? All right. So I have all my media over here, all my files over here. Okay? Let me see, where's my track? I don't know if I brought in my track. Yeah, I did. It's right here. Okay. I'm going to put this up top. I'm going to move it up top. Move it up top. Okay, so I've got my sequence, my track, and all my clips. Okay? All right, I'll show you what the track is later. All right, now, I'm going to go to my script here. My script, don't worry about this first part. That's just a the intro to it. The package actually starts right here, okay? Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games. That's the beginning track, okay, of my package. So if I go down here to track, that's where my reporter tracked their voice. And I did this in class, okay? So I'm going to double click here. When I do, it pulls the video up here. Now I tracked my audio by wearing a lavalier microphone, okay? A lav microphone. Okay, I'm just worried about my audio. All right, now I'm going to press play. I can press it right here. Dr. Christine Eschenfelder. Okay, and the cursor was way back here, so I got to make sure that that playhead is way at the beginning. Okay, now watch. Okay, gendering the holodeck. Track 1 in 3, 2. Now I can press stop there, or I can use the space bar to press play. Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look and press stop with the space bar again. Okay, I can move this by clicking and holding it and trying to find where the beginning of that is, or I can listen to it and use the key shortcuts. 2. Okay, I stopped with the space bar. Now I can use my up, down, left, right arrow keys. The two that I'm worried about is the left arrow and the right arrow to scrub to the left or to the right. I can do it frame by frame to the left to go back to get it to the beginning. I can scrub back to the right. Doctor, right? Or I can hold it down to the left or hold it down to the right. Dr. Stephanie Dean. Let's hold it down to the left and listen to it. I let go. All right, that's about where the endpoint needs to be. I'm going to click on the I, the keyboard, on the keyboard, the letter I for endpoint. It sets the endpoint. Then I'm going to press play with the space bar. Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games using an innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media students are playing the virtual reality game Star Trek Bridge Crew. And that's the out. I pressed stop by hitting the spacebar again, and I'm going to put the O for out. The keyboard, on the keyboard, press the letter O for out. Now I have my in point and my out point, okay? If I click this right now and hold it and drag it down here, I'm going to drag both the video and the audio with it. And I can put it here on video 1 and audio 1, or I can move it up here to video 2 and audio 2, or video 3 and audio 3, 4, 5, 6, or I can just drop it on 1, okay? And notice I can also move it around too. I move it wherever I want. And notice also when you get close to the beginning, it snaps. See it snapping? I call that popping and locking. Okay? Okay, but I'm not worried about this video because I was just recording my voice. I was wearing a lavalier microphone, and I was worried about I'm worried about my voice. I'm not worried about the video itself, okay? I'm not worried about the video, okay? So I'm gonna press delete. If I go up here, if I grab just this, see these two right here? If I grab just the clip looking thing, it says drag the video only. Now if I pop that down, it would only be video. See that? If I grab this, it only does the audio. So there's nothing there, but if I go down here, it just brings down the audio. And that's what I'm worried about, is just the audio. So I pop it down there, okay? Now, I'm just gonna grab some video. It doesn't matter what the video is. I'm gonna double click this. I wanna show you something. Double click on that, it pulls it up here. And I'm just gonna put an in point and an out point, doesn't matter where. I just wanna show you how to bring down video as well. Press I, press play, press stop with the space bar again, press O, and I'm gonna bring down video and audio together. Again, this would just be video, this would just be audio. If I click here and drag it and drop it, and I can pop it next to that last clip. Do you see how it snaps there? Now, the reason why I brought this down here is because I wanted to show you how to drop down some video, because can you even see this? Can you see these right here? Can you tell that that's audio, and can you tell that that's video right there? It's hard to see. The best way to be able to see that is to use this line with these two dots, this line with these two dots, and this line with these two dots. That's your zoom controls. Okay? So if I were to take this and zoom, hold it back like this, pull it back, now I can see some of that audio in there. See all the metering? See how it goes up and down? But now if I take this and move it up, look at that. Now I can definitely tell there's audio in there. Definitely tell. But you can't see this video, can you? Can you tell that that's video? You can if I put my cursor here. Yep, there's video. But can you tell there's video? What's there? If I take this and pull it down, hold it down, look at that. Now I can physically see the video. I can physically see that video. I don't have to put my cursor over it just to see that it's a picture, it's a shot of a monitor. Okay? All right. I don't need that. I'm going to delete that. I just wanted to bring that down just to be able to show you how to actually zoom into your video and audio. Okay? So I'm going to delete that. Okay? But I have my first track down here. I can move it wherever I want. Okay? Here's my first track. I can click here anywhere on the line. I can press the play button.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at...
Okay? Or I can click and hold and scrub. You see that? And you see the levels go up and down. Okay? All right. I want to do fine-tune editing. Okay? If you zoom into this right here, you see... Do you see where it says L and R? That means that this channel is stereo with a left channel and a right channel. But you'll also notice, it's kind of tough to tell, but do you see how the levels on the left channel are higher than the channel on the right channel? Here's the reason why. With the professional broadcast cameras, they have the ability to record 2 audio channels simultaneously. In this case, when I recorded this, I was wearing a lavalier mic. I had it pinned to my chest. It was only about 3 inches away from my mouth, so it was getting good audio. But also, the camera has the ability to record audio from its own onboard microphone. That shotgun mic that's plugged into channel 2 that's sitting on top of the camera. So that's what's picking up this second channel of audio down here. So this one's going to be more ambient. This one's going to be more pronounced. So I got to get rid of this one because I'm literally recording 2 channels of audio at the same time. One 2 inches from my mouth, one about 3 feet away from my mouth. Okay? So this one's going to sound not as good. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to right click on this clip right here. I want you to go to audio channels, and channel 1 is an L. Channel 2 is an R. Okay, so think of that like the right side and the left side. We want to get rid of the right channel, and we want to move it to the left. So we want that left to be on our right channel also. So it recorded from the media source from the left channel, which was 1, and we want it to go out on the right channel. So make it go left, left, and press OK. You'll notice that now they're both L and L, and they're both at the same height. If I press play now,
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look.
Do you see how they're both the same levels? Let me press undo. Commands or Control Z. And press play.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at...
See how they're uneven before? They were uneven. But if I go LL,
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at...
Now they're both together. Okay. I want you to see something also here. Okay? I want you to see the levels here. You need to be working where your audio playback is coming in from anywhere from 6 to 12, -6 to -12. Around in here is good optimal playback level. Now, when I recorded this in the field, I made sure that I recorded it at the right volume. And I did so by looking at my meter on the side and wearing my headphones, and I set my incoming audio recording to the proper level. In this case, let's say you recorded it at a lower level and you need to raise it in production, in post-production, okay? You see this line right here? If I click that and hold it, I can drag it and drop it down. And see how I'm lowering the dB level? If I put it back up to 0, that's what it was recorded at. It's hard to get it right at 0 again, isn't it? Okay? But if I lower it, it's going to drop the volume.
Dr. Stephanie Dean.
See how it's going down to 15 now? Anywhere from 27 to 15? Okay. I don't want to do that. I'm going to press undo. I just want to show you how to raise and lower the audio just by clicking on the line. Okay? But I want to show you a better way to edit audio. I want you to put your cursor right at the beginning. I can click and hold right here. See where that peak says doctor? Okay? I'm going to zoom in right there to the word doctor. Right there. I want you to put your cursor there and see these tools. I want you to click the pen tool and we're going to do fine editing. We're going to raise it. I want you to put 2 dots on this line. See how when I put my pen tool there, it adds the plus button? If I put a plus button there and a plus button there, it puts 2 drops of ink there. Go back to my selection tool, and now I can actually lower it. I can make it gradual, or I can make it steep. Okay? All I'm doing is making it go up.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is.
Got it?
Dr. Stephanie Dean is.
Got it?
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking.
Okay. Now I can move the side of this over, and I have a little bit of a gap there. Okay? Now I'm going to move this direction because I want to edit the out point. Let me just zoom out again. Where's the out? Here's the out. Okay. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Now I can just snap my cursor to the beginning like this by just holding it down and going to the left, or I can hit the home button. There's a home key on the keyboard that goes to the end, to the beginning. If I hit the end key, it goes to the end of my last edit. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go to the end, and I'm going to get to the end of this bite.
Crew. Back. Bridge crew.
Bridge crew. I'm going to take my pen tool. I'm going to zoom in, by the way. Take the pen tool. Put 2 dots on there. I'm going to take my selection tool and lower it. And let's put it back here and listen to it.
Bridge crew. Bridge crew. Bridge crew.
Got it? Now I can take this, make sure the selection tool is there, and I can clean that up as well. Now, I have done a good edit, my first edit for my audio. I have edited properly with good keyframes for gradual ups and gradual downs, with the keys going up and keys going down. Okay? This audio is ready for use. Okay? But we don't have any video yet, right? I never start a piece with a track or a sound bite. I always like to start with some kind of natural sound from the story. Okay? Okay, so what I will do is we're going to look for some kind of audio. Let's look and see if we can find something. Something that's making some noise. Let's see if we can find something. What's this? All right, I'm hitting the space bar again to press play. Preparing for warp. That's kind of neat.
Warp coils ready. Charged. We're aligned for warp. Course ready, Captain. Aye, Captain.
Oh, that's where they jump to warp speed. Okay, so let's just do some of this beginning part, okay?
Preparing for warp.
Preparing for warp. How about that? So I'm going to put the cursor right before preparing for warp. I'm going to press an in button with the I.
Preparing for warp. Allocating power. Charging. Warp course is set. Lining up.
Okay, and then I'm going to press the O for out. I'm going to take that, click it, and because I want the audio to go with it, I'm going to bring it down here. Now, I haven't let go of it yet. If I let go of it right now, it's going to literally copy over the top of my track and it's going to erase it. I got to make sure it wants to drop it on 1 and 1 or 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. We're going to put it on 2 and 2 because those are unoccupied, right? And let go. Now, if I want to, I can independently drop these on different layers. If I want to, I can put this one on 3 if I want. If I want to, I can put this one on 1, or I can move that back to 3. Okay, so you can independently move them later. Okay? Okay, now let's listen to that beginning. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to zoom in again, because I want to hear that preparing for warp.
Preparing for warp.
Okay.
Preparing for warp.
Now, preparing for warp. I want to hear, I'm going to move this out of the way so it gets out of my way, because I'm just focusing on this edit. Listen to the audio.
Preparing for warp.
That's pretty low. Preparing for warp. I want to make sure that we're up a little bit. Let's see if we can get that.
Preparing for warp.
All right, now we're up in the 6 to 12 level, right? Go to the beginning.
Preparing for warp.
Okay, preparing for warp. That's where I want the beginning. See that little peak? That's the word preparing.
Preparing for warp.
That's the P. All right, so right at the beginning, I'm going to get my pen tool. Let me zoom in again. And there's that P for preparing for warp. I'm going to put a drop, drop. Then I'm going to get my selection tool, and then I'm going to go down. Okay? So it fades from nothing up to audible.
Preparing for warp.
Did you get that? Press the home button.
Preparing for warp.
Home button.
Preparing for warp.
Okay. Preparing for warp. All right? At that point, I want the audio to go down a little bit. So I'm going to take this pen tool, and I'm going to put 2 more pen drops, and I'm going to lower it so it doesn't compete with my audio.
Allocating power.
Now we're down in here, and it says allocating powers, right? So it's really low, okay? Now I'm going to zoom back out. See where these zooms come in handy? And I'm going to bring in this. Watch this. Pop that right about there. See how I'm coming out of the loud noise, okay? Because right here, if I would have played this over the top of this, it would have drowned this out. So it's up high so we can actually hear it. For a little pop of that, listen to it.
Preparing for warp.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are.
Did you see that? Let's do it again.
Preparing for warp.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in.
Okay, so I can zoom back out. So Dr. Stephanie Dean is looking at
Preparing for warp.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking
taking a look. I can move this back. See how you click on the end of the clip and you can drag it any direction you want? Okay. I always listen to my text, my script, or my track, because that dictates what video I want to cover it. Okay? Because video goes with the narrative. This is the narrative message. Ready? So let's listen to see what kind of video we need to find to cover it.
Preparing for warp.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games.
Okay.
Taking a look at how men and women.
Okay. At how men and women.
How men and women.
At how men and women. I think we have a shot of men and women. Watch this. Look at this. Look at that. It's a shot of the characters that you can choose. Look at this. I think I had them switch from a man to a woman. Okay. Let's get this shot about right. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put an in point.
Okay, now switch to a girl.
Co-op games and they kind of go
And there's that's the girl, where they switch from a guy to a girl, okay? I'm going to click this, and you know what? Did you hear me talking over the audio? Well, that's going to show up in the piece. Well, I don't want me in there, so I just want to bring down video only. I want to worry about different natural sound from something else, okay? Because otherwise, if I play the audio, listen to me talking in the background.
To a girl.
co-op games and they kind
You hear that? I said switch to a girl. I told the guy controlling the system to switch to a girl so I could, because I knew I was going to be writing to that in the piece. So I'm going to just bring down video. Now if I click here, it'll bring down video and audio together. But see these two right here? If I click this one, that's video, and this is audio. I just want the video. I'm going to bring that down. Let's see if it says it.
Taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games.
Okay, I want to make it so that that woman, switching to the woman, comes up when he says men and women. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one back a little bit, and I'm going to move this direction to see if that girl comes up a little bit quicker.
Look at how men and women are perceived in games.
See that?
Using an innovative lens.
Okay, using an innovative lens. I wonder if I have a shot that says lens. Oh, would you look at that? That's a lens of a camera, huh? Okay. I like it. Oh, I like the music too. I'm using my left and right arrow keys to scrub. Okay, and I'm going to put an endpoint, I, and then an out. Okay, I like the music that was under it too, okay? So I'm going to put that down there. Make sure you put it on 2 and 2. I can move it down right there if I want. Okay, now let's see what we got here.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games, using an innovative lens.
Oh, you know what I can do? Let's see.
Games, using an innovative lens. Dean. Games.
I'm going to split up the track here because I want to do a little Nats pop of this music. Watch this. I take the blade and I cut literally right there. I took my track and split it into 2 pieces.
In games. Using an innovative lens.
So I did that? Very, very simple. But remember that when you do that, you need to fine tune by using the pen tool again.
Games.
Using an innovative. So I gotta do it here too. Boop, boop. Okay, I can move that back. Now, here's the thing. I didn't like how in the beginning the shot was kind of shaky. See that? So, what I'm going to do is I want to use this audio because I want to have it come up. But I don't want to use that video that's attached to it. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click on this and unlink the two. Did you see that? Now they're independent of each other. I can move this one this direction. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay? Because I want to create a little bridge. Listen to it now.
In games. In game.
I want that part right there to be right at the climax right there. Okay? So, here's what I'm going to do. I want this to be up full. Whoops. I put that on that line, and I can move it up. Let's listen to it. Okay, a little bit louder because I want it full here. Okay, but I want to bring it up gradually. I'm going to put another dot. I just want to introduce it just a little, like this. See how I fade it in?
In games.
Whoops. Let's try it again.
In games. In games. In games.
Do you see that? Go back to my selection tool.
In games.
But remember, that shot was kind of shaky, right? So I want to take that shot a little bit later where it's a little bit better. Oh, actually, look at that. He's actually touching the screen there. I like that better. So I'm going to put my cursor there. In point. And then out point. And remember, I just want the video. So I'm going to delete this one. And I'm just going to grab the video from this. Look at that. And now I can snap them together, right? See how they stop at the end? And if I want to, I mean, I could press Shift. I could marry them again. Right-click and link them together again. Don't have to, though. But notice it puts a little, it's showing that the audio is off from the video. Well, it definitely is, because it was way off. The first part of it was way over here. The second one was here. Let's see what it looks like.
In games. Using an innovative lens.
Okay, so, all right, at that point, I want to start bringing it down. Put 2 more drops.
Using an innovative.
Okay. And then moving this over to where I brought it down. Watch.
Are perceived in games. Using an innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media students.
See that? I'm clicking and holding. And I'm going all the way back to the beginning. Did you see how I split up that track? Did you see how I created a bridge and actually brought in, like introduced some music for a little bit?
In games. Using an innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media.
Okay.
Innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media students.
Dean and her interactive media students. Okay. Dean and her interactive media students. Let's see. What says Dean and her interactive? That looks interactive. He is interactive and interacting, isn't he? Look at that. He's pointing at you. Okay, let's do that. In point, I.
Unlicensed targets.
Okay, and then O. I like it. I'm bringing down the audio with it too. Click them both. 2 and 2. And I can bring it down there. Let's scrub to the right here. Hold it down. Let's listen to it.
Using an innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media students are playing.
It's a little loud. See how this is a little distracting? When he starts to talk, it's kind of taken away from my audio right here. Okay, listen to it again.
Her interactive media students are playing the virtual reality game.
Okay. Also, I'm going to move this up just a hair because I noticed I got a little bit quieter there.
Using an innovative lens. Dean and her interactive media students are playing the.
Yep, it started to buffer a little bit. No big deal. Okay, so I'm going to lower this right here just a hair so it doesn't compete.
Dean and her interactive media students are playing.
A little bit more.
Interactive media students are playing the virtual reality game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Okay, Star Trek Bridge Crew. What are we going to show? Star Trek Bridge Crew. Hey, what's that? There you go. I dig it. That's cool. It's just something written on the side of the board, right? I'm going to press in, I, out. It sounds good. That's good audio too. Anyway, whatever. We're just worried about the shot. Okay, so I'm going to put that on 2 and 2. Can move that down, and I can always switch it.
The game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Okay, now zoom out. All right. At this point, we're going to go back to the script and we're going to look at what's next. Well, the first thing is, I'm not worried about the second part of the track. I'm just going to go straight from this straight to the byte. The byte is Dean at 127. We're coding for male players and C responding to our players, okay? Now let's cut it at Vulcan. Let's do 127. So we're looking for 127 with Dean. Here's Dean right here. Double click on it and let's scroll to 127. Look at this right here to where we get to 127. 120, let's 5. Okay, let's press play. Spacebar.
Co-op game, we're coding for.
We're coding for. Here comes the left arrow. Ready?
We're coding. We're coding for male players, female players, male avatars with a female voice, female avatars with a male voice, and then human and Vulcan.
Okay, and that's good. And when it O for out. Now I'm going to click it, drag it, drop it, pop it, lock it. There it is. It's down there. Okay, I can put it anywhere I want. All right, now here's what I'm going to do now.
The game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Star Trek Bridge Crew. Okay, I want to hear some music, a little bit better music, because I never like to have any type of gap in between coming from a track to a byte. I like to put some kind of gnats or music of something in between. Remember I said that we had that jump into light speed? Yeah, let's see if we can find that again. Was that this one? We already have it, don't we? But I forget where it was. Was it this one? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, press I. I like it. And then press O. Okay, I'm going to move this down here because I don't want to chop it. Okay, but I'm going to take this and put this down here. Well, let's see. Not really worried about this. Okay. Let's see.
Virtual reality game Star Trek.
Oops. I'm going to do this. Let's go. Actually, see, I took some of this away. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. I'm going to move this one down because, again, I'm going to bridge this up. I'm going to put this, snap it up against there. I'm going to right-click on this, unlink them, because I'm going to bring that back. Watch this. Now if I select the two of them, shift, now I can move that back. Now I deselect and I can move that back like that. See how the audio starts before the video does? Now watch.
Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Okay. Instead, I'm going to get rid of this audio altogether. I'm going to back it up even further. I'm going to right click, unlink. I'm going to get rid of this. Oh, whoops, undo. I'm going to press delete. And I'm going to move this even more. Shift. Whoops. And I'm going to move it all the way back to the beginning. Whoops. This, shift, this, and move them together. Boop. Unlink. Okay, keep in mind they're both unlinked. Okay, now let's see if it does it.
Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Okay, we need to get that where it actually fires right there. So I'm going to move this back. Okay, and I'm going to move this back a little bit. Now let's see if we can get it. You see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to time it so that that explosion happens right there. Nope, still not there. Boom. Now let's just move just the video or the audio. Boop. Let's try that.
Reality game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Sweet. Okay, now let's listen to the audio again.
Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Okay, now I want that audio at full. I want to hear that. Oh, that's high. I'm clipping now. Let's bring it down a little bit. There, I didn't clip, did I? Okay, now we got to make sure that the first part of it doesn't compete with my track over the top of it though, right? Let's listen to it.
Reality game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
It's kind of competing, isn't it? So I'm going to click the pen tool and I'm going to raise it to that level. So I'm going to bring it down just a hair.
Game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Hear that?
Game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Then I can bring it down. Click, click. And then it fades out, right? Okay. So now I can bring back in Dean. Okay. Now remember, I have to fine tune her audio also. I have to right click on her. I have to manipulate the channels, remember, because she's recorded on channel 1. I want to get rid of that channel 2. So go left, left, press OK. See how they both mirror now? Now let's check the volume.
We're coding for male players, female players.
Volume is at a great level, but we want to make sure that we fine tune that very beginning. Ready?
We're coding.
We're. See where it raises here? That's the word we're. So I'm going to take the pen tool, go 1, 2, and gradually raise it.
We're coding for.
Got it? Now I want to go to the end.
And Vulcan.
And Vulcan. And I take the pen tool again and go drop, drop, drag down.
Human and Vulcan.
Okay. And then press the cursor back there. Okay. And now we want to bring in the audio right here. Okay. So I can't bring that over there, otherwise I'll trip on this one. So here's how I can bring the audio to hear the audio first, but still be able to see the video and delay her actually appearing. So watch this. I'm going to right click and unlink her. I'm going to drag just the beginning of that shot. Okay. But keep in mind, if I move this to the left, that audio is now going to be unlinked from her mouth.
Avatars with a male voice, and then
See how they don't match? They don't match at all. So I've pressed undo, control undo. Now they're linked together. Okay. I want to lasso the two of them by clicking here, lasso, or you can do click, shift, click. And then I want to bring this direction to snap to that. Got it? Now let's see if it does it.
we're coding for male player.
Got it? Now I can deselect and select just this and bring it back. Now let's look and see what it looks like.
Bridge crew.
We're coding for male players, male avatars with a female voice, female avatars with a male voice.
Got it? Okay. Guys, that's it. That's editing. That is editing. You just saw how to assemble an entire piece. Okay? Let's watch it from the very beginning. Okay? We're not going to edit the entire package just for time constraints, but I just want to give you an idea of how to lay down track, how to lay down nats, how to do bridges like this. See this one right here? That's a bridge. And this one right here is just more of a pop. Actually, it kind of bridges too, because it kind of comes in a little bit earlier. Okay? I do bridges and pops all the time. I separate audio, track, byte, with pops all the time. I always unmarry video from its audio. I always unlink, I always slide things where I want them to appear in a creative way. So let's go back to the beginning. I can press the home button. If I double click right here, it actually pulls it up full frame. Let's watch our piece.
Preparing for war.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women...
It's buffering. It might not be able to do it. Let's just watch it in small frame. Sorry. Ready? Here we go.
Preparing for war.
Dr. Stephanie Dean is taking a look at how men and women are perceived in games. Using an innovative lens, Dean and her interactive media students are playing the virtual reality game Star Trek Bridge Crew.
We're coding for male players, male avatars with a female voice, female avatars with a male voice, and then human and Vulcan.
What do you think? That's it, guys. You just learned how to edit. Press save, file, save. Do that all the time. File, save all the time. All right. So you've edited your piece. Now you just need to export your piece. Go up to File, Export, Media. Make sure your cursor is at the very beginning. Click on Sequence In Out and switch it to Entire Sequence. Make sure your format setting is to H.264. By default, a lot of times it'll select high bit rate. Keep it there, high bit rate. Set your destination for your desktop, Premiere Exports, and name it Gendering Holodeck Package. And you'll notice I already exported it like this for quickness here. And then press Save. When you do, you press Export, and it'll pop up in your exports folder. That's it. Happy editing.